What up, you nerds? Fallout here, and we are closing in on 500,000 subscribers. All of you are beautiful, and if you haven't yet, come on, click that big red button. Big thank you to those who do. Today, we're going to talk about a weapon that was newly announced for the upcoming Guardian Games event launching on May 3rd. The weapon, revealed in the TWAB, is called the Title, a brand new legendary SMG. I've talked to a few people who have mentioned that for one reason or another, they probably are, quote, not gonna go for this new SMG, feeling they have sufficient backup options already. I'm here to tell you that I think that'll probably be a mistake, and if you miss out on the Title, I'd be willing to bet money that you'll regret it later. By the way, if you're on the fence about learning a lot more about this new weapon, feel free to back out of the video right now. I'll only be mildly offended. But if you want to learn more about the gun, set to drop tomorrow, well, buddy boy, you came to the right place. First, a little information about the gun you might not know yet, overall info and what perks it can roll with. How do we have this information? Data mining, baby. It's all contained in the in-game API, which we all have access to. As always, nothing is hard confirmed until it's confirmed, but if anything I'm about to share isn't accurate come tomorrow, I'd be surprised. Anyway, here's what the Title brings to the table. The SMG is apparently a 750 RPM and member of the aggressive frame family. Already, I'm kind of excited about that. Multimach and Shira's Wrath, two very popular SMGs, are both 900 RPM and 600 RPM respectively, so a 750 RPM is a very welcome addition to the lineup. There is another 750 RPM that might give the Title some competition for PvP, but we'll get to that later. While doing some homework on this data mined weapon, I found the following screenshot from Ginks.tv. Apparently, with arrowhead brake, ricochet rounds, and a stability masterwork level 1 equipped, the gun has a range and stability stat of 50 and 38. That leads me to believe that the base range on the gun are 45 range and 28 stability. Borrowed Time, a similar SMG that you can acquire by entering the playlist that we don't mention by name, only has base 43 range and 26 stability, so already not bad looking on the Title. If you're an SMG aficionado, you might be wondering, hey, that's all well and good, but what's the zoom fallout? If you're out of the loop, zoom on SMGs is a really key factor on how good they feel when you're using them. They're one of the important reasons that both the Multimach and Shira are loved not just by me, but by many people right now in PvP. In fact, in Bungie's recent Mammoth TWAB, the one that outlined big future changes in Season 17, they mentioned that they were going to be trimming SMG range just a wee bit. Zoom on Shira is getting clipped from 17 to 16, and they're taking Multimach from 17 to a max of 15 with the right scope. TLDR, 16 is the new best zoom number on an SMG, with 15 being an acceptable second place. I spoke with Josh Hunt, who gave me the okay to talk about our data mining chat, and he let me know that after going through the available data, he feels that the Title is going to have a base zoom value of 15. Not exactly the highest number, but again, 15 is damn good. Now that we have all those numbers, let's do a little math. If you had a Title drop with full bore, ricochet rounds, and a range masterwork, which, spoiler alert, is what I'll be grinding for, you should, in theory, have an SMG with 28 stability, which IMO is fine, even on controller, and 72 range. Now I know that both Multimach and Shira are capable of getting higher range numbers than 72, so why don't I just jump right ahead to the main selling point of the Title. According to both data mining and flat out being announced in the TWAB, the Title has a brand new origin trait called Classy Contender, which will grant you class ability on final blows. Not precision blows, any final blows with the gun, meaning hunters get dodge energy, warlocks get rift energy, and titans get barricade energy for free. We've never had an origin trait like this drop before, and IMO, that is high tier for both PvP and PvE. Hunter mains, I've said it before, but I'll say it again, the Hunter dodge is IMO, the best ability in PvP hands down, and getting more of that for free, I mean, you guys should be doing backflips. Warlock rifts and Titan barricades are also awesome, however. Lately, I've been having a lot of fun with Frost Pulse, the ability that lets me freeze people in PvP by dropping a Warlock rift point blank. And I'm also a big fan of the Titan Rampart barricade for trials. Even if you've got a build that features heavy grenade usage instead of ability use, remember, you can just load up on armor mods like Bomber. That way, you get a kill with your Title SMG, you get more ability energy, then you drop your ability to have Bomber activate rate and give you a big chunk of grenade energy. I'm imagining there's going to be some kind of cooldown tied to classy contender. For example, if you get a triple kill in PvP, I kind of doubt you would get a ×3 chunk of ability energy all at once, because that would be kind of wild. If people want, I could fiddle with that origin trait when it drops to try and get hard numbers. Let me know down in the comment section if that's something you'd be interested in. The bottom line though is that more ability energy given through an SMG kill directly is kind of strong. And because we've never had an origin perk like this drop before, ever, missing out on something so unique, even if you feel like you already have other good SMGs, is probably going to be a big mistake. Moving on, perk-wise, the title has great options for PvP and PvE. Starting with PvE, we've got Grave Robber, Threat Detector, and the very lovely Stats for All in Column 3. In Column 4, there's Focused Fury, One for All, Vorpal Weapon, Surrounded, and Swashbuckler. A ton of ways right there for you to get fitted with more damage output. Naturally, Grave Robber Swash is a good combo. Same thing for Stats for All and One for All. Definitely one of the roles I'll be trying to get for PvE. For PvP, Column 3 has Perpetual Motion, Dynamic Sway Reduction, and Threat Detector, any of which I'd be more than happy to rock on an SMG. In Column 4, Moving Target is going to be great if you want a good neutral game role, but I gotta tell you, Swashbuckler and Focused Fury I'm really tempted to go for. When you get it ramped up, Fury is gonna mow people down in 6s. Swashbuckler is just a ton of fun if you've got a melee heavy build, and with a lot of people predicting that the next class rework might be Solar 3.0, I can imagine a lot of builds being more focused on melee. Jumping back to PvE for just one more minute, I feel like it's worth reiterating that one of the hard appeals for the title is the fact that it is a void SMG. Not only are the Column 4 damage perks pretty great, but the fact that it's void means it's going to pair damn well with all the fun void elemental armor mods available in the artifact right now. Alright, let's be fair and talk about all the competition that the title is going to have in the SMG family. On the PvE side, the obvious frontline contender is Funnel Web, a void SMG that dropped with Witch Queen that also has a lot of cash money perks. Funnel Web has Subsistence, Auto-Loading Holster, and Frenzy, some damn good perks that title apparently does not have the ability to roll with. Funnel Web also has a really strong origin trait in Viced Stinger, which gives periodic opportunities to auto-reload the gun at any time when you're dealing damage. Because Funnel Web is void, it has the same ability that the title does to pair well with artifact mods and anything Void 3.0. And while the Funnel Web is awesome, trying to get a god roll Funnel Web is not. There is no current targeted farm method. You pretty much have to cross your fingers and hope you get lucky in getting one to drop at all in the world pool, let alone getting a god roll. While we don't yet know how you'll be able to get a title, I'd be willing to bet money that because it's tied to Guardian Games, there will be some kind of easy targeted farming method. People out there who don't have a god roll funnel cake should absolutely go for the title, but even if you do have a god roll, the unique strength of the classy contender origin trait is 100% a reason to still go for one. Moving on to PvP challengers, the big two challengers being Shira and Multimach, who have been living high on the hog in PvP for a while, definitely bring strong competition to the table. However, remember earlier from the big ol' sandbox twab that both are getting their zoom factors dialed back, so even though they'll both still be good, they likely won't be as beastly as they are right now. Shira has two brand new origin traits, One Quiet Moment and Alacrity. One Quiet Moment I'm not really fond of at all, but Alacrity is definitely worth consideration, especially if you play a lot of trials. Again though, I'll just keep coming back to the fact that classy contender is going to be wildly helpful on paper, considering how many strong as PvP builds are currently tied to abusing your class ability. Another big PvP contender I'm gonna bring up is Teraba, a weapon that I'm kind of horrified that eventually people will wise on to being one of the strongest weapons in the current sandbox. The big twab that dialed back the zoom of Shira and Multimach made no mention of the Teraba at all, leading me to believe its factor of 16 zoom isn't being touched in any way. On top of that, SMGs are getting a damage fall-off boost, meaning Teraba isn't just avoiding getting a nerf, it's technically getting buffed. The gun is already disgusting in PvP, and it's a 750 RPM, just like the title. Now, the Teraba won't be able to reach a max range as high as a max range title, but its unique ability, Ravenous Beast, is nigh untouchable in the time to kill department. At the end of the day, though, each gun brings something to the table that the other doesn't have. Teraba has monster time to kill potential, which you do have to work towards in-game, while the title has rock-solid neutral game perks and an unbelievably unique origin trait. great. At the end of the day, you might have a few really good SMG options already. With the changes to the aerial accuracy system, which favor SMG play by the way, the fact that SMGs are getting a better damage falloff and a wild origin trait, you'd really have to be hardcore anti-SMG to not go for a God Roll title. When Guardian Games drops, I'm going to do my best to find a damn good farming method for the gun, and if I do, make sure you don't miss that video by ringing the notification bell. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.